All right, guys. Hello, hello, hello. We are looking today at dividing fractions. There's two different ways to divide fractions. There is, first of all, you can divide a unit fraction, which is 1 over a denominator, 1 being the numerator, by a whole number, or you can divide a whole number by a fraction. And I'm going to show you different examples of how to do both. We're going to start with a unit fraction here. A unit fraction divided by a whole number. So that means the unit fraction is essentially the dividend. So let's give you an example here. If we have 1/5, that's our unit fraction, divided by 2. A good way to solve this is we're going to read these directions and follow these as we go. So looking at the first part, it says first draw the fraction in the equation. So we're first looking at fifths, 1/5. So we have to cut this into fifths, this rectangle. So I'm going to go ahead and obviously fractions, when you divide equally. These may not look equal because I'm not that great at making them exactly the same, but I'm going to divide them into fifths. So there's 1, 2, 3. One more line will make it fifths. So if I look at these, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections. Okay. Now remember, we're just looking at 1/5 here. So once I've done 1/5, I have to divide this into 2 equal parts, which is my whole number. The 2 is my whole number. So I'm going to divide it into 2 equal parts. Here it says going the opposite direction, which means horizontally this way. We're going to cut the entire rectangle into that many times of the whole number. And then we're going to look at one piece that is our solution. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to go ahead and cut it into 2 pieces. Now I have one piece on top and one piece on the bottom. So I've taken 1/5, which I cut these into fifths, and here's my 1/5. And I cut it into 2 parts. And then I have to look and see how much this part represents. Well, this is 1, so this part represents 1 as my unit fraction. And then I have to put the denominator as 1 out of the entire amount of sections. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 is my denominator, so I have 1/10 as my answer. Again, I took the entire thing, cut it into fifths because that was my unit fraction, and then I divided it into 2 equal parts where I did my horizontal line, and then look at just the one section, the one unit is 1/10. Let me show you again for another one quickly over on this side so that you can get to see what it looks like. This one, I'm going to go ahead and do 1/6. This is my unit fraction divided by 3. So again, my step 1 is I have to make them into 6 equal parts, this rectangle. Okay, so I'm going to do 1, oops, not very straight, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's my 1/6 is this section here. Now I'm going to go ahead and change my color again, and I am going to divide that into 3 equal parts. 1 part, 2 parts, and 3 parts. See, I have 1, 2, 3 equal parts. That's my whole number. Then my next step is to go ahead and figure out what my answer is. Remember, I'm just looking at one piece of this, so I know it's going to be a unit fraction. But 1 out of how many altogether? If I count these, I can count by 3s because I know there's 3 gaps on each. There's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. There's 18 sections altogether, so my complete answer is 1/18. That's how you divide a unit fraction divided by a whole number. Now I'm going to show you the other way around also. All right, guys, now we are going to look at our whole numbers, which is going to be our dividend, and we're going to divide it by a unit fraction. So a little bit different, but the same basis. So I'm going to go ahead and give you an example. Let's go ahead and take our whole number, let's say 3. And we're going to take that 3 and divide it into 6, divided by 1/6. And we're going to find out what our answer is. So again, looking at our directions here on this first one, it says first draw rectangles for each whole number. Well, if I look here, I see that I've got 3 whole numbers, so I have to draw rectangles for 3. So I'm going to do, it's a pretty messy rectangle, but that's okay. You get the gist of it. 1, 2, and 3. 3 rectangles. Now I'm going to divide. It says cut each of the rectangles into this many times, looking at the denominator. See, the denominator says 6, so it says that each one of these rectangles have to have 6 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And again, I'll do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I know they're not exactly equal, but this is it. Then what we have to figure out is how many we have altogether. Well, I know that each one of these now has 6 parts. So I have 6 here, 6 here, and 6 here. 6, 12, 18. My correct answer here would be 18. Again, let me go ahead and give you another example. On this one, we're going to do, let's do 3 again so that we could see it. And this time we're going to divide it by our unit fraction, 1/4. And we have to figure out what that equals. So again, I start off, first I'm going to draw the rectangles. So let me see if I can draw better rectangles here. 1, 2. There's my 3 rectangles. And then I'm going to cut each rectangle into 4ths because I'm looking at the denominator. So when I cut each rectangle into 4ths, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, and 4. I've cut each one into 4ths now. So now I have to see how many altogether I have here, which means I have 4 here, 4 here, and 4 here. 4, 8, 12. 12 total. So 3, if I take 3 and I divide it into 4ths, I'm going to end up with 12 altogether. 12 pieces. So my answer is 12. All right, that's it, guys. Hopefully this helps. We'll work more on it during our lesson. I'll see you soon.